In this video, we're going to go over the spinning arm bar from side control. So, my partner's going to lay down. This position you get to after you pass the guard. The close guard is when I'm in between his legs. So, in this scenario here, we've already passed his guard, and I'm going to be in side control. Key detail of the side control is I want to make sure that I keep my hips nice and low. I want to keep my hips too high, give him enough space between his belly and my belly to be able to recover his guard and get his knees in and get his legs in and play butterfly or anything like that. So I want to make sure that I keep my hips low and my chest nice and low, my chest on his chest. I also want to take my right hand, or depending on the side, I want to take the arm that's closest to his head and put it under his neck here. And to really secure it and get a good harness on him, I can take my other hand, the hand closest to his hips, and come under his armpits here, clasp my hands together, and keep my chest down low, hips low, and put my weight on him in good side control here. Another key detail is I want to make sure that my knees on this side are right next to his ribs. That will ensure that I keep control on this side of his body and on this side of his body. So I'm nice and tight, nice and low. My knees are nice tight to his body, and I'm right in here. So I also want to make sure that his objective down here is to recover his guard, get out, or even attempt a couple of submissions from this position. But the number one rule he wants to follow is, just like in boxing, is keeping the elbows nice and tight here. So in order to secure side control really nicely and correctly, I want to make sure that I take my knee here, the knee closest to his head, and come inside his elbow and flare that elbow out. So, but this move, obviously you can't hit it just like I did it like this. You have to be nice and low and get in and come outside. So let's flip it around, that way you can see it. So from right in here, I want to make sure that I'm tight, but I'm also, when he's tight here, I want to take my knee here, the one hitting the mat right now, coming inside of his elbow and then spreading it and flaring out his elbow right here. So I've secured my knees right next to his ribs, my far arm under his armpit here, my other arm under his neck right here. So from right here, my chest is on his chest. In order to start this spinning arm bar, I have to bring him onto his side. So the hand that's under his armpit, I'm going to use it as a hook. I'm going to go elbow deep and really clasp his shoulder in between my bicep and my forearm here. From here, I want to actually bring him up to his side here. That way you can see his whole back right here is off the ground. From here, nice and deep, I use it as a hook, bring him up to his side. From here, I want to take the knee that's closest to his head, step over his head here. And then from here, I'm going to switch my hips, put that same knee in the crook of his armpit here, and spin myself to the other side here. From right here, I squeeze my knees together, keep my calf over his face, and sit. After I sit, I pinch my knees together, and I start to work my arm bar. Key details of the arm bar, I want to make sure that his thumb is facing up towards the sky, and I'm pulling down wherever the pinky's facing. I'm pulling down on that. As I pull down, I squeeze my knees together, and I elevate my hips up to the sky for the tap. If his pinky's facing this way, I want to pull down that way and go up. If his pinky's facing this way, pull down and up. So, another angle. I'm in. I pull him up to his side. Now notice what I do with the leg that's furthest away from his head. As I step over, I drop that calf right across his face here and pinch my knees together and really lock that shoulder in place. As I secure that forearm, secure his whole arm, lay back down, make sure his thumb is up, and here, this leg here ensures that he won't sit up and try to counter my move. So I keep that nice and straight over his face, squeezing my knees together, elevating my hips up to the sky, and pulling down on that arm, making that elbow go the opposite way it's meant to go for the tap. One more time, full speed. I'm in, nice and tight. We're working here. I managed to get Good position on him. I pull him up, spin, tap. One more time on this side here. I'm in deep. I pull him up to his side, step over, spin right away, lay back down, and he'll tap. So that was the spinning armbar from Side Control, brought to you by Open Mat.